and not something that I should be concerned about. However, when the issue came out in the public domain, I did say that while my own view of the matter of dual citizenship is that we should be expanding rather than narrowing the scope of who can participate in our political process, even at the highest level, given the diaspora that we have as a reality, the Jamaican family being international, and we being so dependent on our Jamaican family for the sustenance and support of our economy and our society here. And we discussed some of those issues a while ago in the discussion on economic transformation. I also said that I had to be mindful of where the Jamaican people felt about this, and if it became apparent that the view was that leaders in the parliament, or members of parliament, senators, or persons of holding high office should be exclusively Jamaican citizens, I would take that into account. And comrades, we have reached a point now where we have some data on the views of the public on this matter. And while I've expressed my own view is on the way we ought to be going as a country in relation to this issue, I do not want my status to be something which could hold the party back, impact the party negatively, or any of our candidates who are on the road to victory in difficult seats which we're looking to win, to have any kind of disadvantage because of my status. So as a result of that, I have decided to take that issue off the table by renouncing my British citizenship.
Mark Golding is buying time. I don't know, him buying time, him trusting time, pay down pan time, I don't know. But Mark Golding is buying time. Hi everybody, Karen Cecilia here again. I promise you this is the final part of all of this. You see why all of it couldn't be said one time, right? After you have listened to part 1, 2, and 3, you realize now that, you know, the whole thing needs to be fleshed out right to the beginning. So where we left off was when Mark Golding went and announced to the NEC that he intends to renounce his citizenship. Please remember to like the video. Please like the video. Put in a pithy comment and share it. And if you have a pithy comment, put in a pithy comment, share the video, like the video. And if you have not yet subscribed, that's what I meant to say. Made I get a water. What to say? Some days I'm worse than Mr. Biden, and I love Mr. Biden, and I'm going to win again. Well, I hope so. So after all of that, we are back to finalize it for you. So remember to like the video, all right? So after 6 weeks to pray and get advice and talk to him people and him family and all of that, Mark Golding stepped into the ring and stepped up to the podium in the PMP NEC meeting held in Morant Bay, St. Thomas. He went into the PMP NEC and he reluctantly announced that he intends to renounce his British citizenship. It appears to me that the NEC was all geared up for fling water upon him and burn him down. I don't know, it appears that maybe some old people decided they might go, because I understand that it was kind of a somber NEC. Not overly packed, but a good amount of people showed up. And maybe people were having discussions with him before about it. And him come now and realize him have to announce something. You know? And he reluctantly stood up and started with what, in my view, are his grouses. Him open with his grouses. And I've always thought that my situation is normal. See? Start again with the lie and deception. I have always thought that my situation is normal. Jamaica is a global and international, we're an international family. I mean, it was just going on and on and on. And that's another lie and another deception. Because if you thought that your situation was normal, why hide it? In part 1 of the video, either part 1 or part 2 of the video, I spoke about Boris Johnson being a U.S. citizen and how the whole world knew, and how when he renounced, it was not no surprise and shock, and he never did so under any duress. I spoke about that. Now, Mark Golding went to the NEC and told the NEC that he thought his situation was normal. Now, the NEC was full of appear idiot it looks like, and I have some good comrades on the NEC that I still like, sat there and listened to him talking that foolishness, that he thought his situation was normal. How could you have thought your situation was normal when you're hiding it? How could you have thought your situation was normal when Portia talked about it in 2008 when you were a senator and she spoke about it and you kept hiding it? How could you have thought that it was normal? Why didn't you tell Portia when she made a statement in 2008? Why didn't you go to her and say, comrade leader, I hear your statement. Does it apply to me? Let me repeat. Does it, go to some lawyer at the PMP and talk? If you thought it was normal, why did you go and get the Jamaican passport when you became a minister? What is normal about that? I need to lock the window because that mad girl quarreling again. Why would you do that? Why would you go and get a Jamaican passport when you became a minister? If you thought that your situation was normal. And he sat there and blatantly dry-eye lie to the NEC, trying to get their sympathy, trying to just lie and deceive him way again right through the thing. Why you went and get the Jamaican passport when you became a minister? If you thought your situation was normal, why did you apply? Well, why did you say you apply for a British visa whenever you travel? Because I checked that out and that's a lie. You did not apply for, Mark Golding did not apply for a UK visa in his Jamaican passport. It took me a while to get that because the High Commission here in Kingston, them very tight-lipped. Them a watch the whole thing unfold and them don't, and I suppose them get them orders from Britain not to divulge any information, although some information would be private because, somebody apply for a visa is a private thing, And it is the High Commissioner herself who responded to me, of course, with a very kind of a shaky thing, and then I call her out on it, and then she gave me the standard answer about it all. Because the young fellow that I spoke to at the Home Office in London simply said to me by not giving me any information when I had called him, and I had said this to all of you first already, I asked him over and over again and in different ways, can you apply for a British visa in another country passport that you have if you are a British citizen with a British passport? Of course, him not tell me no. Him just repeat and said, well, if you have a British passport, you don't need a British visa. But no matter which way I go, for asking me, and he was quite nice, and him young, and he was quite, them know what go on. And you thought it was normal, but yet you went, get your Jamaican passport, and tell lie, say you applied for UK visa in your Jamaican passport whenever you travel. Another lie, another deception that the Jamaican people must not forget. I'm going to make sure Jamaican people don't forget that what you did. Then he went on in the NEC to chastise us about our lack of education in not understanding that we have a diaspora and that we claim that we are independent, but the diaspora is there and our Jamaican family is international, and start talking about how we depend on our families abroad for our sustenance and survival. What a face, the dirty ranking man. We depend on our families abroad for our sustenance and survival. These were his words. I listened to the video very slowly. Very, very slowly. It's 2 minutes and must 10 seconds or thereabout long. And I listened to it and go back and listen to it to just hear what he's saying. We depend on our families abroad for sustenance and survival. Fierce and dirty. We live better than some of them in the diaspora. I don't mean no disrespect to the people in the diaspora. I know that we're not good Jamaicans. Love you all. But we're not going to make nobody take up a liberty pan way and talk about say we rely on for sustenance and survival. I don't rely on nobody in the diaspora for sustenance and survival. And anything that me ask them for, them better give to me. And anything that them send them or come give nobody, them need to give to them. There's a reason why them said it. There's a reason why them have to send it. And as I said before in the live, it's a two-way street. When the damn backside I can talk about and tell you about who will come up and if we can send some ackee, and who will come up if we can cook some curry goat and freeze it, and who will come up if we can look some guinea, and if we can cut up some June plum and freeze some mango, and when they come down and we have a whole list of things we want, and the whole way if you run up and down and look it for good. You see, Mark out hard and feisty. Rank me and understanding, because nobody not depending on nobody friend for sustenance and survival. Nobody down here in Jamaica. Nah, depend on them for no sustenance and survival. Them depend on them for send them a little thing every now and then, which is right. Which is right. And most Jamaicans probably live better than some of them. And we not disrespect you people in the diaspora. We don't know we not disrespect. We defend ourselves. We just defend ourselves against what Mark say. Say Uno is our sustenance and our survival. And that is not true. Not true. So in that 2-minute thing to the NEC, him cuss us out about our ignorance on the matter. Basically saying it's not a big deal and we should accept him with his British citizenship. We should stop the foolishness. Basically echoing what Mark Shields was saying. Talking about, it's an international, Jamaica is international, and we're a family of international people. We have a diaspora, and we claim that we are independent. But why are we saying that we are independent when we can't even accept these simple things as making a dual citizen be part of this and part of that? Cuss us out, man. Cuss us out about our ignorance on the matter. Basically saying it's not a big deal, and we should accept him and talk about the internal. Then he went and talked about the internal party poll, which is what he said led him to now come to the conclusion that he has come to, that he's now announcing to the NEC. The internal party poll, which showed that the views of the people is very, very skewed against him staying a British citizen and then go on to possibly become our Prime Minister. And he said that he's taking those things into consideration. But he kept on talking about his personal views on the matter. He was griping and whining like a bitch. Just whining and griping and not looking happy about it. But I soon tell you about that part. So he kept on talking about his personal views on the matter. Then he gave the reasons why he reached this point based on the data that was provided him. He said he does not want his status as a British citizen, never use the word British, but he said his status to hold back the party or prevent the party candidates to be at a disadvantage, or to cause the party candidates to be at a disadvantage, or to prevent them from having an advantage because of him. He said he's taking the issue off the table by now renouncing his British citizenship. And he announced it and then went back to griping again. Griping and whining and bitching about how dunce we are because we should accept him and we should accept all the other people them. That's saying them a dual citizen, them want to be this and them want to be that. So I'm taking the issue off the table. I don't know which table I'm taking it off, because it's still up on my table. It's spread out on my table. The whole light spread out on my table. It's spread up on the table, it's spread out on the ground. It's all over spread out. I mean, know a lot of people wait now come off of them table. So let's take a little look into what he was saying. Let's look at the language that he used. Let's look at his body language, and let's look at his tone. It was a painful 2 minutes for me to watch. It was a painful thing for him to do. Very painful. He stood there, looked like he might fall down any minute. It looked like he wanted to cry. He has not been the same ever since that NEC. Ever since he did that announcement, he has not been the same. He has lost his footing. He seems more nervous than he was before. More unsure of himself than he was before. He's not happy that he was forced to do this. Not at all. And I'm encouraging you all, I'm including the video in this, for you to listen to him and watch him and tell me if you agree with me or disagree with me, that it was a painful 2 minutes for him, because he felt that he was forced to do this and he don't want to do it. He went to the NEC with possible hopes for a miracle, that they would save him. By all accounts, the fairly full NEC was not having it. By all accounts, the NEC come in full expectancy of him doing it, and most felt that he was slowing their momentum. Some felt that he took too long to do it, and others felt that he handled it badly, and him basically fucking up them thing, you know. Quite a few kept saying that his insistence that he can keep it and be PM was never tenable, and they don't know why the people was advising him to say that. That must be Bunting and Angela them advise him, you know. His entire little speech was whiny and bitchy, and still saying that we should give dual citizens in the diaspora a chance, which is basically about him. I'm not really arguing for them. I'm arguing that we would give them a chance and then he would basically be in it. That was the big thing from morning, why I've had all of those little half-idiots protesting against this country. Yeah, the base in the country, treacherous rats them. All of the rats and the assistant rats and the deputy rats them. One of the interesting things about his whiny speech is that it never started with any kind of remorse or an apology to the PMP NEC or the delegates that elected him. It never started with that. I mean, politicians have a very difficult time in apologizing. But history has shown us that the politicians who have never been afraid to say to a group of people that they felt that they have wronged, listen, I made a mistake. Most of them don't want to say I'm sorry. But you could say, I made a mistake. Most politicians like to say that. I made a mistake. I thought that this was so and I made a mistake. I was wrong. He never went there. He never went there, and the foolish NEC sat there and accepted that stance from him. He never went there. But then again, had it been PG or Peter or Portia or one of them, nobody would have started them with it. Nobody would have started with it, whining and bitching. Or even if they did, they would have reached that section where them say, it was something that was untenable because we learned that so and so, and we learned that so and so. And the man never showed any remorse, no apology, no remorse. He was not contrite. Never showed no contriteness. He was heavy. Look at him. When you look at videos, look at, he was heavy. His heart was heavy because this is the thing that his father gave him. I want to take it from him. I don't want to go no. Because I'm father him and he is his father and his father is him. I am my father and my father is me and I am my father's son. He was heavy. He was heavy, man. Not content, not happy. And no apology to the Jamaican people. He was seething with rage about how we forced him to say I'm going to renounce. You see, when him reached that part about it, his voice dropped, his shoulders dropped, his head. I mean, you need to watch it and take note of it. He was seething with rage about how we force him to say I'm going to renounce. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to reach the word renounce. Most of it was about him and what he thinks and how he feels and how it might affect the party's chances at the elections. None of it was about the Jamaican people. None of it was about Jamaica. Not a single part of it. Nothing to say that our country is a great little country and nothing. Jamaica was not mentioned once. Not even for 5 seconds was Jamaica mentioned. We, independent country. Oh yes, him say Jamaica is an international family. Lie me I tell. He did say Jamaica is an international family. That's the only time he mentioned Jamaica. But not once did he talk about how this thing could affect Jamaica and what Jamaica is like and how we as Jamaica. I mean, the man just went on and on. And then it was about how it affect the party's chances. Except him talk about Jamaica. Yeah, he talk about Jamaica and say that the people in the diaspora are mine way. And we must make them, keep them dual citizenship and make them MPs and commissioner of police because them are mine way. This place a piece of crap. Yeah. So the big question that I have to ask, which lead up to all of this now. This is the crescendo of all of it now. Was his announcement a genuine one, saying he intends to renounce? Or is he buying time? Was it? Was it a genuine announcement? Or him just buying some time? Time for what, you might ask. So let me just give you some scenarios. Let me say, I can't help you with that. For 6 weeks, he had been resisting, thinking, praying, getting advice. 6 weeks. Don't you think that after all of that 6 weeks, if it's a serious argument that he intends to renounce, then he should be coming to the NEC to announce that he submitted his documents and he made a request to the Home Office and he's waiting for the process to move forward. Don't you think? No, I'm just saying. After 6 weeks of thinking and praying and whatever else he was doing, searching his heart, whatever, that he would, if he really want to take the thing off the table, he should have gone to that NEC and said, all right, so after all of that, I want to just let you all know that I have started the process of renouncing. I've submitted my documents, I've made a request to the Home Office, and I'm waiting for the process to begin. After 6 weeks of whining and complaining, all he could come up with to the NEC is that he intends to. He intends to renounce. I don't believe him. I can tell you that. I don't believe him. He's buying time. And he knows that he can do it. I think his announcement was a ploy. I think so. So let's look at possible scenarios before I tell you what the process of renunciation is. So I'm going to the NEC and him said to the NEC, my intention is to renounce. All right? And nobody do nothing after that. So the 2-day NEC coming up in July. Yeah, in this month. The 2-day NEC coming up. At the 2-day NEC, I'm going to, nobody not going to ask him nothing. Boy, I hope them ask him, but nobody not going to ask him nothing. But somebody should ask him, have you started the process of renunciation? Somebody should ask him that, has the process started? Because it's a long process, it's not an easy, short process. And if nobody asks him at the 2-day NEC, then I'm going into conference. I'm going to give a big speech and talk about everybody and I'm going to whine again and bitch again about everybody and make up nice about him citizenship to Britain. I'm going to use the opportunity for whine and bitch about it all again. And then what happened after that? Maybe or maybe not an election. In buying time. Him use 6 weeks to buy some time. To keep it. And nobody in the NEC asked him after he finished the NEC, Mr. What I call him, when I use it, leader or whatever. When do you intend to start that process? Nobody asked him. Them just take it. Because them don't reach the point yet where them don't understand that this man can't be trusted. Him is a lying, deceptive piece of crap. And nobody don't ask him, when do you intend to start this process? Because it's holding us back. It denying the Jamaican people a chance to have a proper opposition. It denying us an opportunity to go out there and explain things to the Jamaican people. When do you intend to start this process? It's a long and tedious process. In buying time. In starting the process, first, you have to apply. And you can do it through post or in person. But the Home Office in London recommend against post. Now, you can look up most of these things on Google, but let me warn you, it's not everything it tells you. So those of you who want to check it out, call the Home Office. Just look up a number and call. Takes a little while for you to get through. Takes a little while. It will take some time off your minutes or whatever. But call and let them give you the rundown of how these things go. Don't go completely by Google. I am telling you that. So you can apply and you can do it through post or in person. The Home Office prefer in person. The Home Office recommend against post. So when I asked the lady at the Home Office, why? I mean, these things can be posted or email. She was reluctant, but then she said, they recommend against post because these matters are national security issues. And we know how these things work. Everything is a national security issue when it's a secret, and I don't want to tell you. But then she ended our conversation by saying, but people still have a choice where they can post it in or they can come down to the Home Office in person. And you can't do it at the British High Commission either. You have to go to England. Go do it. Well, she didn't say that exactly, you know. Let me back that up. I don't think you can do it at the High Commission. I don't think you can do it to the High Commission unless you're posting it. But in terms of the in-person, I am not so sure. I'm going to check that out and get back to you on that. Because she never really said that, you know. They prefer in-person applications, especially if you are in a hurry or if you want it by a specific time. That's what she says. If you're in a hurry, if you want it by a specific time. In an event, you are looking at 4 to 6 weeks for that application process to go through. You will be interviewed individually. The individual will have to go in for an interview. And they will ask you specific questions like, why are you renouncing your citizenship? Are you being forced to renounce? Well, when I'm asked Mark, why are you renouncing your citizenship? Mark face is going to give away the whole game. Can I tell him, say, I look at work. And the work is him want to be prime minister. You know? And him want the work, and that's why I'm a renounce. And him face is going to give away everything. I guarantee him face is going to give away the whole game. Then I'm going to ask him, are you being forced to renounce? May I tell you, I'm going to ask him that. Are you being forced to renounce your British citizenship? And if you are being forced, by what forces? Why are you being forced? The back ask is like an interrogation. Then they will check your mental acuity in you making that decision. Then they will check if you have joined with enemies of the kingdom or any terrorist organization, which is why you want to renounce. So they want to check if they want to check out all those things. They will check if you're involved in money laundering and if you have any associates in all the above. They're going to check all of that. If you have any mad people in your crew, they're going to check if you have anybody in your crew that is an enemy against the kingdom. And then they will check if you're involved in money laundering or if you have any associates involved in money laundering. That's going to be that one is going to be interesting. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and I'm asking Mark those questions. In other words, they're going to be checking if you are selling out Britain. That's all I'm checking. If you're selling out Britain to some other forces. In the research, I discovered that citizenship renunciation is easier in America than it is in Britain. Britain's stance on these things have always been about protecting the kingdom. Protecting the kingdom. It's like 3,000 years of wars and conflicts and beheading and the breaking away from the papacy and Britain forming its own church of a breaking away from Rome. It's 300 years of internal conflicts and one family holding the throne for 10 days and then someone just kill off the whole of them and the next family ascend the throne and it just goes on forever and ever and ever. The Windsors have survived since William the Conqueror, and that's 1,000 years that this family now holds the throne. But it's a whole history of conflicts. So Britain stands on these things about protecting the kingdom. Finally, if your application is successful, you will receive a declaration to say that it is successful. And then another process. What is that process? You have 6 months. After you sign that declaration and send it back in, you have 6 months to confirm to the Home Office that you are now an accepted citizen in another country. This is another tricky part. I want you to pay attention, First, how him renounce at the NEC, buying time. Remember, this is all about buying time. Buying time. You put it through the post, it goes shorter and it longer. Process longer. If you're going in person, it moves a little faster. If your application is successful, you receive a declaration within 4 to 6 weeks to say that it is. And then you have 6 months. 6 months. When the declaration reaches you, you are still a British citizen up to 6 months until you inform the Home Office through documentation that you are now a citizen full accepted in the other country. And even though Mark Sem is a citizen of Jamaica now, when he gets that declaration, him still have to do it. That was the part I really called the Home Office to find out about that part. Because it says that when you renounce, you get a declaration. Signed, and you sign the declaration and you send it in back and you say, and everything is good. They send you that and you have been cleared. Your application to renounce is successful. But then you have 6 months. 6 whole months, which I believe must be something that them create to give people a chance to change their mind. Because within that 6 months, by that 6 months, you have to say to them, yeah, I'm a full citizen of Jamaica. Sign the thing, send it to Jamaica citizen. See me here, supply you with my passport and my birth certificate. I don't think you can produce that birth certificate. We'll get a proper one. And then you have to say yes. And at that time now, your citizenship from Britain is released. So you're looking at, 7 months, maybe. And and at the time, if you fail to send in that declaration of a citizenship into another country within that 6 months, there's an next kicker, I want to listen, Let me repeat. After you get that declaration from the Home Office to say, yeah, you have been successful, your citizenship is renounced, you just need to make sure you sign this now and inform us by 6 months' time that you have secured citizenship in another country. If you fail to do that within that 6 months, your British citizenship will automatically be restored. If you fail to send back to Britain and say, yeah, I'm a full citizen of Jamaica now, and then you see us anything, your British citizenship will automatically be restored. Let us say we can repeat that in slow motion. It's not a joke matter, but it just cracks me up. Let's see if we can repeat that in slow motion. Ready? You make the application for the renunciation of your British citizenship. Send in all the documentations that they require of you. Then after a few weeks, they question you and then interview you. I mean, that was really an interrogation, but it's an interview. After that interview, they will inform you if you pass the interview and if your citizenship will be, if your renunciation of your citizenship will be given, and they tell you yes. They send you a declaration to say, yeah, we approve your citizenship to be renounced. And you get that. When you get that document, you must now sign that document. And then you have 6 months to tell them and to prove to them that you're a full-fledged citizen of this country now. So you can go ahead and finalize everything. And that will be done. If you fail to do that within that 6 months period, they will, without informing you, without contacting you, automatically restore your British citizenship. You hear me? I'm done. I said nothing more. I really shouldn't say nothing more. I should just leave it at that and say to you, Mark Golden is buying time. In buying time, because he think the whole out of an idiot. So he buy time and he knows what he's doing. So you can stay there, buy time with him. Well, maybe I trust time. We don't know him I do. But he must string everybody along. And the Jamaican people need to know. So if nobody now asks him about this thing, and if him now show nobody where he is and how him reach, how far him reach at this thing, he's not to be believed. He's lying. Him having a hard time. We need to get him some help. He need to speak to somebody, a therapist or something. Because I'm having a really, really hard time. And Bunting can't be him therapist this time. I'll go and see Bunting and walk up and down with him. Mark look weary. Him look sad. Him look broken. Because he don't take away this thing when father gave to him. And he don't want to take it away. Him not look well. Him not happy. You know, him barely go and him move through like a ghost. Him just He must get up and do the motions. Angela, call him every morning 3-4 times and make sure say, I'm all right. Him need tonic, him not happy. Want to force him to go say that he going to renounce this thing that his father gave him. I am my father. I am my father's son. My father gave me this thing. How could you be asking me to give it up? I don't want to give it up. I don't want good. Me no want good. Me want to keep my British citizenship. And I want the Prime Minister with it. And of course, the intelligence agencies in Britain not happy with him. Kind of angle it right. So them pissed with him. So him agent status is in question too. Poor Mark. Fuck you. That's how it works when you're a traitor. This is where it comes down to, and it not will end nice for him, because him set out from day one to lie and deceive and lie his way into a political psyche, and then thinking that him can get away with it. So I want to close by saying that I still hope some citizens are going to carry him a court, because in buying time, some citizens still need to carry him go to court. We are the citizens. Warm to the big people in this country, warm to the political players them. Somebody need to sue him ass and carry him go court. Our constitution is clear. Let them kick him ass out. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm glad I never finished it. In his renunciation, Mark will have to resign as a member of parliament. Make no mistake about that. Part of the renunciation process means he has to resign his seat in South St. Andrew. That's part of it. It totally slipped me because I was having so much fun. But he will have to renounce. And if he's going to renounce, he has to resign as a member of parliament. And after he gets his declaration that him free from Britain, and him tell them that he's a full-fledged Jamaican, then him can go run back for the seat. Oh boy, I can't wait to see all of this. But he have to resign as a member of parliament, and as such also have to resign as leader of the opposition. So I'm waiting to see where all of this goes to. I hope you got a good set of information from these 4 videos. And I hope that you can piece it together and see where I was coming from the beginning, and why I started it the way I did, and provide you with some information. I'm going to start paying some attention to the British politics, because I think there's some information I need to bring you about all of this and what's happening there. So, thank you so much for listening to me rant. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and keep your children safe.